everyone, in this video we're going to talk about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle getting publicly humiliated, Joe Exotic's heartbreaking diagnosis, and the crazy amount of complaints that Rihanna's gotten from her Super Bowl performance. First up, it's been reported that Harry and Meghan might not be attending King Charles III's coronation. But without word from the couple themselves, so far most of it is speculation. Royal experts have been offering plenty of educated guesses as to why they might choose to skip the ceremony. Christopher Anderson spoke to Fox News Digital about the potential royal reunion. He explained that it's increasingly beginning to look like Harry and Meghan might opt out of the coronation because of practical concerns and fears that the reconciliation would be too difficult after the release of Spare. Anderson said there are genuine security concerns, and then there is the prospect of the Sussexes being roundly booed. He explained that after the couple were sidelined during the Queen's funeral, it's highly doubtful that they would be willing to face that sort of public humiliation again. Remembering the time that they had to sit separately from the rest of the royal family, podcast host Kinsley Schofield also spoke to Fox News and gave her take on the upcoming event. She said, "I think there is a possibility that Harry could do a quick turnaround for the coronation alone. He did say during the Netflix documentary that he missed aspects of royal life, and I believe traditions are one of them. Based on his military experience, duty is also important to him, and there is a sense that it is his duty to attend as a son of the sovereign." Schofield insisted that Harry had tried to secure a meeting with Charles in order to feel more comfortable among the family at the event, only for the palace staff to respond by saying that the king is too busy. There is also another problem when it comes to their son's birthday. That's right, the coronation will be on the 6th of May, which is also the day of Archie's 4th birthday, and that might create a conflict with their attendance. So Harry and Meghan will ultimately have to weigh their own priorities against the optics of either decision and make the choice that's best for them. But it does seem unlikely that they would skip such a milestone event, even if they have become estranged from the rest of the family. The release of Harry's memoir sent shockwaves throughout the world, as it detailed a lifetime of his feelings of betrayal and resentment towards his family. His desire to escape royal life only intensified once he married Meghan, and together they had to battle vicious attacks from the media, and the backlash against them has now become worldwide. Last week, the American animated series South Park targeted the couple in an episode called The Worldwide Privacy Tour. While their names are not specifically mentioned, the character designs make it quite obvious who they are depicting. There is a red-headed prince and his wife who wears an outfit that is very similar to the one Meghan wore in 2018. At one point during the episode, the prince and his wife make an appearance on the talk show called Good Morning Canada, and they walk in holding signs demanding privacy. They then sit down to discuss the prince's new book called Wow, which is clearly a reference to Harry's memoir Spare. Overall, the jokes are extremely harsh. In fact, the writers ruthlessly call out Harry and Meghan's real life, with all their obvious references. In the episode, the couple express a desire to live a normal life, but ironically they end up doing things that draw even more attention to them, like landing a private jet in the middle of a street and going on talk shows. Later on, the characters also embark on a We Want Privacy tour, and they look into hiring a branding manager, who labels Meghan as a sorority girl, actress, influencer, and victim. In fact, the depiction of the couple was so bad that it was reported they were going to sue South Park. Royal commentator Neil Sean claimed that Harry and Meghan's legal team were casting an eye over the episode to see if there could be any legal ramifications. It's also been rumored that the royals knew of the episode for quite some time and desperately tried calling the producers in an attempt to have it blocked. The Spectator then reported that Meghan was left upset and overwhelmed by the episode and made it clear that she did not consider the show to be funny at all. Given South Park's long history of mocking celebrities, it's unlikely that they would have succeeded anyway. The series has gotten way too many legal threats over the years to seriously consider pulling the episode. Moving on, there's been some very upsetting news about Joe Exotic. Doctors fear his prostate cancer has now spread to his bladder, and the worst part is that he is refusing further treatment. The star of Netflix's Tiger King wrote a letter detailing his deteriorating health condition. He explained that after undergoing prostate cancer treatment, he found blood in his urine, which prompted a urology specialist to say that the cancer is rapidly spreading. But sadly, he is not looking to undergo any treatment for his worsening diagnosis, and fans fear that he will likely die behind bars. In the letter he wrote, "I want to stay here and just let it take its course. The world has to know how corrupt our justice system is. If I have to be the one to die innocent in here fighting for the truth, maybe people around the world will finally speak up for the truth for once." He vows to stop at nothing for justice to be served. Earlier this month, Joe wrote up a new will, which stated that he wanted to leave everything to his fiancée Seth Posey. He wrote, "I could care less about dying. My birthday is coming up soon and all I want is to see Seth." He also spoke with TMZ on the phone and claimed that he signed a dear webinar with the prison. He said, "There are so many of us in here who don't belong in here, and we should be with our families, so I appreciate your support." The 59-year-old is currently serving a 21-year prison sentence for hiring a hitman to take out his rival Carole Baskin. He was also convicted of multiple wildlife violations related to killing 5 tigers, selling tiger cubs, and falsifying records. The events leading up to his crime were covered in Tiger King. Prosecutors say that he paid 2 men $3,000 to kill Carole Baskin in 2017, but one of them happened to be an undercover FBI agent. Since being imprisoned, Joe has maintained his innocence, and his attorneys claimed he wasn't being serious when he tried to hire the men. He eventually revealed his prostate cancer diagnosis in May of 2021 and called on President Joe Biden to release him on compassionate grounds. After he heard about the prisoner swap between America and Russia, Joe slammed the exchange that set WNBL player Brittany Griner free. He said the whole Brittany Griner and Trevor Reed prisoner swap is a slap in every American's face that is wrongfully detained in the American federal prison, including myself. He went on to say, "Carole Baskin got her Big Cat Safety Act passed, now called the Tiger King bill. Your tiger law has passed. I'm never owning animals again. This is what it was all about. The evidence that I'm innocent is there." Back in March of 2019, the disgraced zookeeper also petitioned to have Donald Trump grant him a pardon. He released a video proclaiming his innocence and had his legal team repaint a bus with the words, "President Trump, please pardon Joe Exotic." But when he failed to receive a pardon, he completely turned on Trump and started attacking him on Twitter, saying, "I only mattered to Don Jr. when he needed to make a comment about me to boost his social media post." As for the other star of Tiger King, Carole Baskin, it was recently reported that her ex-husband Don Lewis has been found, and apparently he is alive and well. Don has been living his best life in Costa Rica. This is obviously a huge deal because he completely vanished in 1997, and he was actually declared dead in 2002. After the Netflix series debuted, there was rampant speculation that Carole had been involved with Don's presumed death when he disappeared 6 years after their wedding. But the fact is, she was never charged with anything, and she always maintained her innocence. This directly contradicts Joe Exotic's infamous claim that she killed her husband and had him fed to tigers. But last year, Carole went on to ITV's This Morning and revealed that Homeland Security got into contact with her. She claimed that they let her know that Don is alive and well in Costa Rica, and apparently he's been living there since his disappearance. The story seems to check out with everyone except Joe, who responded to the news from prison. He said, "During the filming of Tiger King, detailed efforts were made to find Don Lewis. They all failed. He is not alive." The 2021 report by Carole Baskin was another unsupported allegation. It's been republished as if it has veracity. It doesn't. The story of Tiger King is filled with lies, setup, and misdirection. And now let's talk about all the complaints against Rihanna's Super Bowl performance. Earlier this month, the singer blew fans away at the halftime show, where she cycled through a medley of her greatest hits in just 13 minutes. But the performance was not without controversy. It has now been reported that the Federal Communications Commission received 103 complaints about the broadcast, and nearly all of them were about the halftime show. According to a TMZ report, many of the complaints said that Rihanna's lyrics and performance were way too sexualized. But that was a little bit confusing considering the fact that she was completely covered up in her red jumpsuit, and her dancers were in their oversized puffy white tracksuits. But apparently most of these issues were directed towards the backup dancers. One person said, "This year the halftime show was so indecent I had to turn off the TV." Some viewers said the dancers made gestures that were patently offensive and completely inappropriate for children. One person wrote, "I truly hope the NFL will rise above the current culture's disastrous vision for the future and take a stand for more virtuous and family-friendly productions. And if they don't, the FCC will do something about it. Our young people get bombarded on all fronts with all kinds of negativity and vulgarity. They don't need it from America's most beloved sport as well." But thankfully, Rihanna's creative team aren't taking the complaints too seriously. Her choreographer Paris Gobel shared the news of the complaints to her Instagram story, and she wrote, "Only 100? To put it into perspective, in 2020, Shakira and J-Lo's performances got more than 1,300 complaints, while Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake's 2004 show got 540,000 complaints. And you can probably guess why. But one of Rihanna's loudest critics was undoubtedly Donald Trump. The former president took to Truth Social and wrote, "Epic fail. Rihanna gave without question the single worst halftime show in Super Bowl history. This after insulting far more than half of our nation, which is already in serious decline with her foul and insulting language. But even before her performance, there was already an uproar. Republican Congressman Ronnie Jackson lashed out at the NFL for even having her on in the first place. He tweeted, "Rihanna spray-painted F Donald Trump on a car at the Cadillac Ranch in Amarillo. She's made a career of spewing degenerate filth while bad-mouthing America every chance she gets. Why is the NFL showcasing this crap? Rihanna should not be the halftime performer." In response, Trump commented on his post and said, "Without her stylist, she'd be nothing. Bad at everything and no talent." But aside from all the criticism, there were so many people coming to her defense and praising her performance, even those you wouldn't expect, like Candace Owens. The conservative commentator tweeted, "I don't want to jinx it, but Rihanna is the first female Super Bowl performer in recent memory that has managed to keep her clothes on. Nudity doesn't shock me anymore, self-respect does." While that tweet was a little questionable, it definitely surprised a lot of her followers. Candace also pushed back on those people who were picking apart the performance for no reason, and said that she's always liked Rihanna because there is just something about her, and clearly that is something that millions of her fans can agree with. If you love seeing her at the halftime show, I have some really good news for you. It's just been revealed that Rihanna is set to perform at this year's Oscars as well. She'll be taking the stage at the 95th Academy Awards on Sunday the 12th of March, and performing her Oscar-nominated song Lift Me Up. The track is featured on the Black Panther Wakanda Forever soundtrack, and it's the singer's very first Oscar nomination. But Rihanna does have some serious competition. She'll be going up against Lady Gaga for the Best Original Song title, who is also up for her 4th ever nomination for Hold My Hand from Top Gun Maverick. It's going to be an exciting night, so make sure you tune in to watch. Well, that's all the story that we have for today. Please let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next video.